You're watching DD The Defense Dynamics. I'm Danveer from New Delhi, connecting to our viewers from India and around the world. In an increasingly complex global landscape marked by evolving security challenges, joint military exercises have become crucial in fostering interoperability, enhancing technical skills, and building strategic partnership amongst the nations. So today, we are going to talk about India's military diplomacy. We will explain what this actually means in terms of real geopolitics. We'll also tell you how the military diplomacy works towards building a self-reliant, indigenous defense industry for India. If you take stock of last few months, India's military diplomacy has been at a very hectic pace with back-to-back military exercises from countries far and wide, involving all the three services, that is Army, Navy and the Air Force. In the month of September 2004 itself, India conducted two major bilateral military exercises. India-US bilateral military exercise, Yudh Abhyas at Mahajan Field Firing Ranges in Rajasthan, and the Phase 2 of Indian Air Force's largest multilateral exercise Tarang Shakti, that was held at Jodhpur, involving 8 countries including India, and 17 other countries had sent their observers. The second phase of exercise Tarang Shakti was held at Jodhpur in Rajasthan. This was an extensive and exhaustive exercise that witnessed the participation of aircrafts from Australia, Greece, Singapore, Sri Lanka, United Arab Emirates and the United States. The iconic A-10 Thunderbird close support aircraft flew over Indian airspace for the first time, as the United States had deployed them for the exercise along with F-16 jets. The A-10 aircraft played a stellar role in its deployment as close support platform in Afghanistan, Iraq, Kosovo and Libya. The aircraft has played a role as no other would want to play today, with the era of standoff weapons already in place. Another aircraft that drew attention was the Japanese F2 fighter aircraft. The aircraft is also known as Viper Zero in a tribute to its heritage. The Viper in this case pays tribute to the F-16 family from which it is derived, and the Zero pays tribute to A6M0, a fighter of World War II era that gained legendary status. Incidentally, both F2 and the Zero are built by Mitsubishi. The aircraft was one of the first fighters in the world to fly with an AESA radar, and in terms of technology was much ahead of its time. Only 94 F2s entered operational service and very few ventured outside Japan. In this Phase 2 exercise Tarang Shakti, 30 aircrafts including 25 aircrafts from 7 countries involving 800 personnel carried out 800 sorties. Japan fielded 3 F2 fighters, while US deployed 6 A-10 Thunderbolt close support aircraft, 3 F-16s in addition to force multipliers, and Australia had sent 3 EA-18 Growler aircraft and around 120 personnel. The other countries deploying aircraft included Australia, Greece, Japan, Singapore, Sri Lanka, UAE and the United States. Bangladesh, which was scheduled to deploy a C-130 transport aircraft, had dropped out in the backdrop of domestic developments. On the other side, at Mahajan Field Firing Ranges in India's state of Rajasthan, a largest US contingent has thus far been on the Indian soil.
They involve around 600 personnel, including Striker infantry vehicles and M142 HIMARS. They carried out joint military exercises with the Indian troops under the name Yudh Abhyas.
In the series of multinational exercises, the deployment of Striker vehicles during Yudh Abhyas has drawn a lot of attention. The Striker vehicles are being put to test by the Indian Army in various conditions. If these trials are successful, then it is likely that a few hundred such vehicles of different variants are procured. This would also include some mounted Striker vehicles with Javelin anti-tank guided missiles. In such a case, licensed manufacture of Striker vehicles in India itself will be a strong probability with a local defense equipment manufacturer. Presently, India conducts more military exercises with the United States than any other country in the world.
In the series of hectic military diplomacy and the pace, Indian armed forces have either already concluded bilateral military war games or they are scheduled during the months ahead of the year 2024.
The famous annual Malabar Naval exercise comprises forces from the Quad countries, that is, India, Australia, Japan and the United States. They are scheduled to be held off the Visakhapatnam coast in the first half of October 2024. The Malabar series of exercises began as an annual bilateral naval exercise between India and the United States way back in 1992. Later on, Japan joined the naval exercises in 2015, and it was in 2020 that Malabar exercises saw the participation of Australian Navy as well. The Malabar naval exercises enhance synergy, interoperability, coordination between the four country navies. This exercise highlights the convergence of views amongst the participating countries on maritime issues and their shared commitment to an open, inclusive Indo-Pacific and the rule-based international order. Basically to say, to counter the hegemonic designs of China in the Indo-Pacific region. The annual Malabar exercises include diverse activities ranging from fighter combat operations from aircraft carriers through maritime interdiction operations, anti-submarine warfare, diving salvage operations, amphibious operations, counter-piracy operations, cross-deck helicopter landings and anti-air warfare operations. Over the years, this exercise has been conducted in the Philippine Sea, off the coast of Japan, in the Persian Gulf, in the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea.
Shortly after Malabar exercise, an Indian Army mechanized infantry contingent is going to Russia for a bilateral exercise named Indra.
When it comes to military cooperation, Russia and India share a deep and an intricate bond. A shining example of this bond is the Indra series of exercises. These exercises were initially conducted as bilateral naval exercises. Indra has been held alternately between Russia and India over the years. It has also graduated. Now, the Indra series includes land, naval and air exercises, reflecting the comprehensive nature of military cooperation between India and Russia. The Indra Army exercises focuses on counter-terrorism operation, anti-insurgency drills, humanitarian aid missions, and much more. They involve infantry, mechanized forces, and special forces units from both countries, enhancing their ability to conduct joint operations on land. Indra naval exercises emphasizes on maritime security and naval warfare capabilities. These drills include anti-submarine warfare, maritime interdiction operations, and search and rescue missions. They aim to improve coordination and cooperation between the Indian and the Russian navies. The Avia Indra focuses on joint air operations, air defense maneuvers, and tactical exercises. It enhances the operational synergy between the Indian Air Force and the Russian Aerospace Forces, thus covering aspects like joint air combat missions, air-to-air refueling, and coordination of air defense systems. The Indra exercises are meticulously planned and executed. They involve several key components like the command and control integration, tactical drills, live fire exercises, and humanitarian missions along with the anti-terrorism operations.
The hectic back-to-back military exercises in the year 2024 range from countries that are far and wide with divergent geopolitical ambitions and goals. This also highlights India's stated policy of strategic autonomy.
The Indian military's other engagements included the 10th edition of bilateral exercise Tarang Shakti with Sri Lanka in August 2024, held at Army Training School Maduru Oyaya at Sri Lanka. The Indian Army had also deployed a contingent of 40 personnel for the 21st edition of multinational peacekeeping exercise Khan Quest, hosted by Mongolia in the months of July and August of 24. This exercise had around 430 participants from 23 countries including Australia, Canada, China, Japan, Turkey, the United States and the United Kingdoms amongst others. On one side, the Indian Air Force was conducting Tarang Shakti Phase 1 at Sulur in Tamil Nadu, India from August 5th to 14th of 2024, which saw participation of Germany, France, Spain and the United Kingdoms. And on the other side, the Indian Navy was busy building bridges of friendship at sea. Russian naval ship Varyag and Marshal Sapaskinov visited Kochi from 6th to 9th August of 2024. VFR, the Indian naval ship Shivalik, completed participation in the exercise Rim of the Pacific or the RIMPAC. This is hosted by the United States Navy at Guam, which was held from the months of June to August of 2024. INS Shivalik was mission deployed to South China Sea and Pacific Ocean, which joined the RIMPAC after taking part in series of operational engagements in these two areas. Shortly after that, the Indian Navy's frontline stealth frigate INS Tabr was in Toulon, France from August 29 to September 1st and on departure participated in the 22nd edition of India-France bilateral exercise Varuna from September 2nd to the 4th in the Mediterranean Sea. The Indian Navy also deployed a P-8 long-range maritime patrol aircraft for exercise Varuna, which it is said was the first ever deployment of this aircraft in Europe. Amongst the high-profile visits giving further impetus to India's defense diplomacy were the visits by Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy, Admiral Alexander Alexievich Moiseev, in August 2024. During this period, the commander of Brazilian Navy, Admiral Marcos Sampaio Olsen, also visited India.
Highlighting India's commitment to further strengthening India's defense diplomacy, the Indian Air Force Chief said the biggest lesson drawn out of the exercise Tarang Shakti was the need to speed up procurement and set up common data link to be able to communicate with other countries using different systems. The chief announced that Tarang Shakti would be made a biennial feature with more participating countries the next time.
Firstly, I think it is proved that size does not matter. The smaller aircraft, but with equal capabilities as the other participants in the exercise. It has actually proved its mettle, taking part both as a part of the Blue Force as well as the Red Force during the exercise. And this was probably one of the largest, and the first time the Tejas have been exposed to such large force engagements with varied aircraft. And the exercise debrief only has to tell us how successful all the missions were for the Tejas.
To get a sense of how important these bilateral military engagements are, you must listen to what India's Defence Minister had to say at the conclusion of exercise Tarang Shakti.
जो एयरक्राफ्ट हमारी नजरों के सामने आसमान चूम रहे थे, उन्हें मैं सिर्फ एयरक्राफ्ट की उड़ान के रूप में ही नहीं देखता हूं, बल्कि मैं उन्हें इंटायर एरोस्पेस इंडस्ट्री के उड़ान के रूप में उसे मैं देखता हूं.
India-made weapon platforms not only compete with their counterparts that are amongst the best in the world, but they also prove to the world the ability of the country to design and develop complex cutting-edge military technology. India's fighter aircraft, Tejas, light attack helicopter Prachand, and the advanced light helicopter Dhruv have made a distinct mark through their stellar performance during the exercise Tarang Shakti. India's defense sector has reached a new milestone with successful demonstration of first indigenous light tank Zorawar that has completed initial firing tests, thus showcasing its potential for high-altitude warfare. This development is particularly significant given India's strategic concerns in the areas like Eastern Ladakh. We leave you with these visuals of firing released by Defense Research Organization, the DRDO of India. With this, we come to the end of this episode. But before I go, here is my take. These bilateral and multilateral military exercises epitomize the essence of India's military diplomacy. These modern military cooperation, going beyond mere tactical drills, are to foster deeper sense of strategic partnership and trust amongst various like-minded countries. They enhance the operational readiness of participating forces, augment their tactical capabilities and strengthen their geopolitical ties. As global security dynamics continue to evolve for India, the military exercises like Tarang Shakti or Malabar or the Indra will prove to be instrumental in shaping collaborative, resilient security architecture. Through these joint efforts, India can collectively address multifaceted challenges of 21st century, ensuring peace and stability in an increasingly interconnected world. See you next week with new stories and their analysis. Thanks for watching and do post your comment on social media with hashtag DD with Danvi. Goodbye and take care.